Stonehenge. And here's where it gets even stranger. Stonehenge, perched on the windswept Salisbury Plain in England, isn't just a circle of rocks. Its story starts around 3000 BC, when Neolithic communities somehow moved massive stones, some tipping the scales at 25 tons, over 150 miles from Wales. Imagine hauling those beasts without cranes or trucks. Archaeologists think sledges, rollers, and sheer human grit played a role, maybe even waterways to ease the journey. But the real mind-bender? The stones line up perfectly with the sunrise on the summer solstice and the sunset on the winter solstice. It's like an ancient calendar etched in stone. Nearby burial sites hint at ceremonies and religious gatherings, showing that this wasn't just about stacking rocks. Even thousands of years later, Stonehenge still draws millions, leaving people staring, wondering, and snapping photos, caught between awe and disbelief. Would you have dared to try moving one of these stones yourself back then? Great Pyramid of Giza. Rising on Egypt's Giza Plateau near Cairo, the Great Pyramid of Giza was built around 2560 BC for Pharaoh Khufu. Once 481 feet tall, it remained the tallest human-made structure for nearly 4,000 years. About 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, weighing up to 15 tons, were carefully placed by organized workers. The pyramid aligns almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, showing remarkable mathematical skill. Inside, narrow passages and chambers form a mysterious maze, leaving experts still wondering how the builders. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. But wait, it's about to get way more shocking. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, believed to date around 600 BC, were said to be built by Nebuchadnezzar II for his wife Amidus of Media. Terraced gardens filled with exotic trees and vines supposedly rose above the desert city. An advanced irrigation system may have lifted water from the Euphrates River to keep the plants alive. Yet archaeologists have never found clear evidence of the gardens. Some historians believe they may have existed in Nineveh instead, or perhaps only in legend. Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. And just when you thought wonders couldn't get grander, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus in present-day Turkey was one of the ancient world's greatest marvels. Built around 550 BC by Croesus and designed by Chersiphron and Metagenes, it honored the goddess Artemis. The marble temple stretched about 425 feet long and featured more than 120 towering columns. Rich sculptures covered its walls. In 356 BC, Herostratus burned it down, but it was rebuilt before later destruction. Statue of Zeus at Olympia? And here's a wonder that commands reverence. Around 435 BC in Olympia, Greece, the massive statue of Zeus at Olympia was created by the famous sculptor Phidias. The seated statue of Zeus stood about 40 feet tall, made of gold and ivory over a wooden frame. In one hand, he held Nike, and in the other, a scepter topped with an eagle. Though later destroyed by fire in Constantinople, its legendary grandeur still fascinates historians today. Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. And now, brace yourself for a tomb fit for royalty. Around 350 BC in Halicarnassus, modern Bodrum, Turkey, Artemisia II of Korea built the Grand Mausoleum at Halicarnassus for her husband Mausolus. About 135 feet tall, it blended Greek, Egyptian, and Lycian styles with 36 columns and detailed sculptures. Earthquakes later destroyed it, but the word mausoleum comes from this legendary monument, Colossus of Rhodes. And now, a statue that literally towered over an entire city. The Colossus of Rhodes was built around 280 BC after the island defended itself from Demetrius I. Cures of Lindos, a student of the famed Lysippos, sculpted Helios, the sun god, out of bronze plates over an iron frame, standing roughly 100 to 110 feet tall. Some say it straddled the harbor entrance, though that might be a myth. But what's true is that it was made from recycled bronze taken from abandoned siege equipment. An engineering marvel of its time, it lasted only until 226 BC, when an earthquake brought it down. Even in ruins, its legend inspired future colossal monuments. Can you picture a giant sun god towering over ships coming into port? Lighthouse of Alexandria, Pharos. But wait, this next wonder was literally a beacon of civilization. On the tiny island of Pharos, off Alexandria, Egypt, the Lighthouse of Alexandria rose around 280 BC. Commissioned by Ptolemy I and finished under Ptolemy II, it was designed by Sostratus of Cnidus to guide sailors safely into the busy harbor. The structure had 3 tiers: a square base, a cylindrical middle, and a circular beacon at the top. At night, a flame burned bright. During the day, polished bronze mirrors reflected sunlight across the sea. Standing 330 to 400 feet tall, it was one of the tallest man-made structures of the ancient world. Though earthquakes between the 10th and 14th centuries destroyed it, its design influenced lighthouses for centuries to come. Great Wall of China. And here's a wonder that stretches beyond the horizon. The Great Wall of China snakes across northern China from the Bohai Sea to the Gobi Desert. Construction began as early as the 7th century BC, but the iconic sections were built under Qin Shi Huang in the 3rd century BC to defend against nomadic invasions. Built from earth, wood, bricks, and stone, depending on the region, the labor was grueling. Soldiers, peasants, and prisoners worked under harsh conditions. Watchtowers, barracks, and signaling systems made it not just a wall, but an entire defense network. More than a military barrier, it became a symbol of Chinese unity, skill, and identity. Today, it draws millions of visitors every year. Petra. And finally, let's venture into the rose-colored city carved from cliffs. Petra in Jordan was founded in the 4th century BC by the Nabateans, who turned it into a major trade and cultural hub linking Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. Unlike other cities built upward, Petra was carved directly into sandstone cliffs. Its most iconic structures include the treasury, the monastery, and royal tombs, all adorned with Hellenistic architectural details. Ingenious water management systems allowed life to thrive in a harsh desert. Petra's blend of Eastern traditions and Greco-Roman styles reveals both engineering mastery and artistic brilliance. Even today, it remains a breathtaking testament to human creativity and cultural fusion. Colosseum. And now, step into the roar of ancient Rome. The Colosseum, built between 72 and 80 AD under Emperors Vespasian and Titus, wasn't just an arena. It was the stage for gladiatorial contests, animal hunts, and even mock naval battles. With seating for 50,000 to 80,000 spectators, the crowd's energy must have been electric. Made from concrete, limestone, brick, and volcanic rock, the structure used vaults and arches for strength and tiered seating for perfect views. Underground tunnels and elevators allowed dramatic entrances for fighters and beasts. Though earthquakes, fires, and scavenging damaged it, the Colosseum still stands as a symbol of Roman engineering, power, and public spectacle. Imagine being there, hearing the crowd's roar echoing through the massive arches. Chichen Itza. Next, let's travel to the heart of the Maya civilization. Chichen Itza on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula began around 600 AD and reached its peak between 900 and 1200. This city wasn't just a home, it was a political, religious, and economic powerhouse. Its temples, ball courts, observatories, and ceremonial plazas were all carefully designed. The Temple of Kukulkan, or El Castillo, steals the show during the equinox when sunlight creates a serpent illusion descending its steps. Built from limestone blocks without metal tools, wheels, or pack animals, it shows the Mayas' mastery of astronomy, architecture, and ritual life. Abandoned in the 15th century, rediscovered later, it still mesmerizes visitors with precision and purpose. Machu Picchu. And now, a city in the clouds. Machu Picchu, perched 8,000 feet above sea level in Peru, was built around 1450 by Inca Emperor Pachacuti. Was it a royal estate or a religious retreat? Historians still debate. The Incas used ashlar masonry, fitting stones so perfectly that no mortar was needed. Over 150 buildings include temples, terraces, and ceremonial centers, with highlights like the Temple of the Sun and the Intihuatana stone used for astronomical purposes. Hidden from the Spanish, rediscovered in 1911, Machu Picchu remains a breathtaking testament to Inca ingenuity and a symbol of their engineering and cultural brilliance. Taj Mahal. But let's move to one of the most romantic wonders ever. The Taj Mahal in Agra, India, was commissioned by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan between 1632 and 1653 as a mausoleum for his wife Mumtaz Mahal. This masterpiece blends Persian, Islamic, and Indian architecture, built primarily from white marble from Rajasthan. Its central dome rises over 240 feet, surrounded by gardens, reflecting pools, a mosque, and intricate Quran inscriptions and floral carvings. Thousands of artisans and laborers worked for decades to create perfect symmetry and craftsmanship. Today, it stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and an enduring symbol of beauty, devotion, and human artistry. Christ the Redeemer. Finally, look up to Rio de Janeiro. Christ the Redeemer, completed in 1931 atop Mount Corcovado, towers 98 feet, with a 26-foot pedestal and arms stretching 92 feet wide. Engineered by Heitor da Silva Costa, sculpted by Paul Landowski, and with the face crafted by Gheorghe Leonida, it was assembled in pieces on the mountain, a major feat of engineering. Made of reinforced concrete and covered with thousands of soapstone tiles, it symbolizes peace, faith, and unity. Today, it's not just a Christian icon, but a global landmark, inspiring millions of visitors and overlooking the vibrant city below. From ancient stones to modern marvels, the wonders of the world showcase humanity's creativity, faith, and engineering genius. They inspire awe, connect us to history, and remind us of what humans can achieve. Which wonder would you visit first? Comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe.